Be quiet.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's inside the IFL. For this particular episode, I'm joined by Mr. Chris Davis. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yes. It's going to be an eventful little podcast. We ain't going to be on this air but 30 minutes tops, if that. Just going to go over a few particulars. Let everybody know what's going on, what isn't going on, what the situation is. Yeah, I said situation. And, yeah. Make sure everybody knows we're live. Put that in the Slack right now. There we go. Everybody know we're alive now. So now, earlier this week, I posted a little poll question in regards to roster files, seeing what everybody wanted to or not wanting to do is in regards to it. We ended up with a 7-6 vote with the roster file. Either way, the roster files will be released. But it was 7-6. If you take away the votes I had to put up, it's technically 6-5. That was all we got in votes. I thought we'd get some more votes. I knew not many guys were going to care one way or the other, so I figured that's why they didn't vote. But they voted in favor of releasing the roster files with the abilities included, which I was shocked that would get the nod. I thought it'd be for sure getting the file, but guys want the abilities included. So that's the direction we're going to go. As an owner, what do you think?
For me, really, I don't have a problem with it. I was one of the ones that voted yes because I don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how you scheme your abilities. I mean, like how you scheme your playbook. I mean, like you could know how many abilities this guy's gonna have, but if you can't make it work, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I look
At
at
the end of the day, it's how you scheme your players.
I look at this as in regards of like real football. I can give you my playbook, and you can know exactly precisely what I'm going to do, and it doesn't matter as long as we execute, because we're still going to beat you. So I can come up to the line and tell you, by the way, here's the play we're doing, and then let you audible to and adjust to it. But as long as my guys execute, get off their blocks first, do what they got to do, we're still going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at this as the equivalent to that. So I just don't even know how many guys we got in the chat or not right now, because that's the one thing is I hate with YouTube on this. It says how many people are watching or not watching, but you don't know how many aren't because it's just how many people are actually active, like talking or whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna release those files, and I'm gonna let all owners know now. When you get the file, I'm gonna send you the file for your conference, because obviously you're not gonna need the other conference. It doesn't do anything for you because your team's not over there. So I'll send you your conference's file. Check your team. I'm not perfect, so there's a possibility I made some mistakes or an error, forgot something, did something wrong somewhere, whatever it might be. Forgot to check a duplicate number, or maybe you want to get a player name change, because I was trying my best to make sure that there's not duplicate names. And then we have 16 teams. So Joe Blow could be on one team on the Atlantic, and I didn't catch it. But now we have another Joe Blow in the Pacific. I need to get that fixed. But if there's anything you need changed, fixed, altered, edited, let me know before the end of the week. So I get those changes. And what I mean by the end of the week, I want to make sure everything's done before the end of Saturday. And I'm working tonight. I work tomorrow. I'm off Thanksgiving night. Then I work Friday and Saturday. So I'm very limited in the amount of time I'm going to have to make these changes. So I'm going to need those changes sooner than later. And that's why when I send the guys the files, I'm going to try and do that before I head to work tonight. If not, it's going to be tomorrow when I wake up. But either way, everybody's going to have the roster file by tomorrow at the latest. So, yeah, if you find those mistakes, please let me know. Now to the schedule. I know you had brought it up to me, and I had another one or two people bring it up to me, and it was something I was really wasn't paying them too much attention to. Uh, I was more so trying to worry about getting our season started after the holidays. Holidays being Thanksgiving. Well, the one thing I didn't take into account was we want to do a preseason week for sure. Well, preseason week's falling in place of Thanksgiving week, which was supposed to be this week. So we're already short on the amount of days we can or can't do games. So it'd only give us Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So after talking it over with you and a couple other owners in the league, we figure let's take this week, make sure the roster file's good, make sure it's clean, make sure it's ready to go. And then from the 26th to the 2nd, that's November 26th to December 2nd, that'll be the preseason week. As to when games will run, when they're going to drop, that's all going to depend on my schedule and Chris's schedule because they're just preseason games. We're going to run them when we can, post them when we can. There might be live, they could be recorded. I don't know. That's how that's going to be. So December the 5th is when you can make edits to your playbook for the regular season. Because we're going to start the regular season instead of the 1st or the 2nd. We're just going to push it to the 8th and the 9th. So the season will start December the 8th as opposed to December the 1st. So guys have this week to clean their, like I said, I'll repeat it again, clean your roster up, make sure it's good to go, and get these preseason games run to make sure they're going to be fun and ready to go. So week 1 will be the 8th and the 9th. Week 2 will be the 15th and 16th. Week 3 will be the 22nd and 23rd. We will take off the 29th and the 30th, so you ain't got to worry about playbooks Christmas week, and then you can still enjoy New Year's and do what you want to do, and then get to work on your playbooks for that week. I might let playbooks slide until Wednesday the 3rd in January. We'll get to that when that week comes. But based on my schedule, based on Chris's schedule, and Chris, you can tell him about this as well if you want to. Playbooks, I feel we need to have those submitted and into us no later than the end of Tuesday night. This way,
ASAP.
yeah,
Not no Wednesday, not no Thursday, not no Friday. Tuesday.
as early as possible on Tuesday, because I don't work Tuesday nights. Usually, I work Tuesday night this week because of Thanksgiving, because I usually work Thursday, but because Thanksgiving's Thursday, our trucks got pushed up 2 days. So that said, I can plug in playbooks Tuesday night while I'm off, and then when I wake up in the morning on Wednesday, finish them off. So the more I have to do on Wednesday, because if they came in later, the worse it's going to be. So that's why if you can get it in sooner, get it in sooner. And that's going to be the schedule all season, except for maybe New Year's week, because I know guys are going to be partying the 31st into the 1st, and I don't know if somebody's still going to be feeling the hangover effects from the 1st into the 2nd. So I may give them to the 3rd, but chances are not, considering I work those next 2 days, and that could affect my schedule. So playbooks are going to be due Tuesdays as early as possible.
And if you miss Tuesday, then that's too bad because you're gonna be dealing with either the playbook you had. Let's say if this was the regular season, you'll have to deal with the playbook you had the previous week, or in this case, with this season coming, you have to deal with a generic playbook and work it up from there. Either
Right.
way, you be in a lose-lose situation if you don't get your playbooks in time.
Right.
Now, there's no excuse for it. So
Right. I want to say this about playbooks too. In the rules, it says weekly playbook changes. Teams can change as many as 25 plays per week on each playbook. So you can change 25 offensive plays, 25 defensive plays. Since it is preseason week, remember from preseason to week 1, it's not 25 plays. It's 15. You're only going to be able to change 15 plays from this preseason playbook into the regular season. It's only one, and that's then to be 25 after that. I honestly didn't get a chance to open up too many playbooks. So remember, you had to have 50 offensive plays and 25 defensive plays. And you can only have a maximum of 100 on offense and a maximum of 50 on defense. We limit our playbooks here just to make sure that the AI will call your mostly ideal plays, because the more plays you have in the playbook, the less shot you have of them calling it. So the more plays you have to install, the worse, as far as I'm concerned. And you'll get outside of your scheme or what have you. So remember, trick plays are banned. If you're not sure what a trick play is, when you pick it for your team,
If you pick the flea flicker, that is considered a trick play. Take it off. There, no say.
and you can actually go into your playbook on the game, and it'll show you how many runs you have, how many passes you have, and how many trick plays you got. I forget exactly how to get there without actually turning the game on and looking at it. But, it's pretty self-explanatory what is or isn't a trick play. And the main reason why they're banned is because the AI just don't call them. I've actually put a playbook together with one run, one pass, and several trick plays. Only the run and the pass ever get called.
Yeah, I mean, like the way how we see this, you go ahead and call it. That's a waste of a play. I mean,
Right.
you could
Because I
use that
wanted to
other
test the
play
theory.
slot for anything else.
Yeah. I wanted to test the theory, and I just wanted to do it that way. Now, someone asked me, well, what happens if you just pick trick plays and nothing but trick plays? Well, then the AI has nothing else to pick.
They have no choice but to call it.
Right. So if it's
And it's
something
not
where
like it's gonna succeed. I mean, there's times where like, let's say like when you try to do it yourself as a user, it's not gonna succeed every time.
right.
So, be warned with that.
Yeah, and I'm getting I'm also getting final particulars right now from a few owners, because I was short gotta throw this out here real quick since I just got an alert on leadership ability from people, coach names on a few. So I'm getting the final particulars on those, which I just got confirmation on 2 of those just right now, which is great. Okay. All right, my fault. I was just responding to somebody, making sure I have it right. So yeah, that was another hang up this week in getting some things done, is because I didn't have the particulars on small minor little details. Now that I got them, we're getting there. I think I'm missing one more detail. I'd have to double check it. So yeah. Also check your depth charts. That's another thing I want to make sure I tell guys. Please check your depth charts. Make sure the depth chart's precisely the way you prefer to see it and want it to be. I've actually taken the time to talk to several owners and go through them, and I've been doing my best to get to everybody. So if I don't get to you and you see it before I mention it to you, just tell me, hey, I want to fix this. I want this guy here, there, whatever, and I have no problem fixing it real quick. So preseason games. I announced those preseason games. I believe it was yesterday. And that's one of the reasons why I was pushing everybody. Hey, make sure you vote, because it was going to be important. He said, he said maybe it was 4. He's funny. All right, don't mind me.
RFL, what is up? RFL, the Relocation Football League coming
Where
in.
am I at here? I know what I'm looking for, but I can't find it. This is driving me crazy.
I mean, like,
Oh, here we go.
I'm pretty sure your league's been doing just great as of late. But for you, how have you been, man?
Yeah. But I'm going to mention those preseason games in case anybody missed it. The Atlantic Division games, you're going to see the Dallas Wranglers at the New York Cobras. All these games are going to be interesting, by the way. Boston Liberty at the Nashville Nightmares. The Atlanta Rhinos at the Philadelphia Flight. Baltimore Bulls at the Tampa Bay Stallions. Then over in the Pacific Division, you're going to have the Denver Yeti at the Detroit Hawks. San Diego Bulldogs at the Winnipeg Crusaders. Green Bay Grizzlies at the Tokyo Kitsune. And the Chicago Assassins at the Arizona Outlaws. So, as I mentioned in this initial post, these games were decided based on the community's vote. I wanted the best against the best, the second versus second, and the last place team against the last place team, based on people's initial voting on who was going to and not going to win the divisions. So if you take the Atlantic, you got the Bulls at the Stallions. Based on our community, they think those two teams are going to win their divisions, and they're going to be the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the playoffs. So we'll get to see them play right away in preseason, and maybe that alone will help set the bar who might be the favorite out of the Atlantic, and the same over in the Pacific when Chicago takes on Arizona. So I look at Dallas, New York, Denver, and Detroit, though. Those 2 games I look at the most because those 4 teams got the last place votes within their division and the last place votes within the conference. So those 4 teams are going to have chips on their shoulder. And as you hear on game days with Alex and, oh, man, I'm going to say his name wrong. I always say his damn name wrong because that's how stupid I can be. I'll just say Pain Factory because I forget what he's going by here, what name he's using here because I know him from somewhere else. But I know it's Adam Guerin. I believe he's just using Adam Guerin here as well. But they mentioned a lot about the Yeti and the chip on their shoulder and the suave and arrogance, if you will, how confident they are. And I love it when a team's confident. And they're talking about how they're going to take it on. They're going to be the best, this, that, and the other. But they were the only team. They were the only team out of 16 teams to not get 1 vote as the favorite to win their division. So I know Mr. Chisholm sitting back, rubbing his chin, going, "You fools, you'll learn real quick." And I think you can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pretty much can agree with that. That's all I'm doing is sitting back and just letting people go ahead and talk. Letting people go ahead and talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and he gets to test his wits, if you will, against the Bulldogs, which is my son's team, the first week, which is gonna be interesting. And I like that. Not my son's team, Detroit's team. I'm thinking week 1 of the regular season, but he's going up against Alex, and Alex isn't too shy of showing his confidence either.
They're doing good, RFL. Just they're doing good. We're about to start season 2 with 16 new teams. Well, 16 new teams, 8 new teams. I guess 9 new teams, and it's going
Yeah,
to be very, very fun. So can't wait to
indeed.
see what that's going to happen with this one.
Yeah, we got I want to throw this out here too because I'm gonna try and help this guy get on the team. Muhammad Alawaji's brother, and I think I said his name right finally. His brother is in the league, and he's trying to pick up a non-star deal. His player is Ajalawani, last name, but the first name is Badr.
Okay, I'll sign
I'm
him.
not sure how to pronounce it. He's a 6'5", 215-pound wide receiver.
Oh,
So
damn it!
yeah.
I
So
was
if you're
hoping
a team
I was
owner,
hoping to be a defensive end, man, because if it's a wide receiver, that's going to hurt me.
yeah,
I'm
6'5",
stacked.
215. So I want to mention this to any owner. If you have just 2 receivers on your team, I think it'd be most ideal if we get him in on a 3rd wide receiver deal. Because as non-stars, I think the number 3 wide receiver is the most premier spot you can get unless it's a defensive line position. So if he wants a skill position guy, the number 3 receiver is legit. So if you only got 2 wide receivers on your team and you're willing to pick up a 3rd, that'd be great. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Nashville has a 3rd wide receiver. I'm going to double check that right now. I'm just going to throw this out there as an option. Yeah, he's got Charlie Montana and Justin Jackson. Okay, yeah, he's got Jason Green. So he's got 3 receivers. I was going to say, if he only had 2, that might be a spot for him, and then he get to play with his brother. So who knows? Maybe Tampa Bay or Dallas or Atlanta, if they have space, maybe they'll contact him and get him in the division. We got 3 on Atlanta. Dallas has 3.
Ed just said Boston, so what are you waiting for? I mean, like, you could just, DM him and sign him.
Yeah, be that team. Be that team. Message him and say, hey, we got a number 3 wide receiver spot. And I'll tell you now, Ed said Boston. If he's over there saying Boston, that'd be huge for Boston. And here's why. You take a look at the team they got now.
They have 2 wide receivers.
Right. They got 2 wide receivers. Hunter Breeden is a mountain of a man. I don't know if you can remember Hunter Breeden's
I remember.
as a weight. But for those that don't
I
remember,
think it's
Hunter
probably
Breeden,
like 220, 230 to
yeah,
220, at least 220. That's the
he's
late
six
you can
six.
go.
He's 6'6", 215.
215. Okay.
So
Yeah,
you get
he's
another
big as
guy
shit.
that's 6'5", 215 on the other side or in the slot or what have you. That's a big lineup. I mean, that's huge for that
I
team.
mean, like that man is trying to be fucking Harold Carmichael. Like, really?
And their other wide receivers, Andre Berry, he's the bronze wide receiver. Man, sorry about that. But he's a 6'4", 215. So they're gonna have three guys at 215, 164, 165, 166, if they were to make that signing happen. So can you imagine going up against that team with the sizes of those receivers? So if you got small
Yes.
D-backs, wow.
Yes, I said it. Yes, I can imagine.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get the information to a coach. Make sure we get the right picture. And that's another thing. I'm working on a picture for a particular team right now for the coach. So check that as well for your coaches, because I really didn't ask what coach number guys wanted. Didn't even think about it. I just went with the race they wanted for their player or the coach, and I just snagged one. I don't care. You can have the exact one you want. Just let me know if you have the ability to do it. So, but yeah, we're gonna push this thing a week. Gonna push this thing a week. That gives everybody the opportunity to do what they got to do for this final push, making sure their team's good, not good, correct, not correct. Um, I know, I'm excited. I'd love to just start everything right now, but I gotta install all these playbooks for everybody, which is the thing that separates this league because we don't use Madden from Madden leagues. Is the custom playbook ability. I mean, that to me is such a huge feature. I wish our game had the graphics of a Madden. So, can you imagine if a game came out and had this ability for playbooks, but had the appearance of a Madden league and our gameplay from All Pro?
It can get there.
I mean, we'd be
It'll take time, but it can get
wow. I mean, I sit there and I think about that all the time. I wish I could take all the positives from a Madden game, put them with all the positives of the All Pro game, put them in the one damn game. It'd be ridiculous. I mean, holy shit. I'm like lost for words just thinking about that right now. So I know we only wanted to be on here about a half hour tops. We started a couple minutes late, so we're coming in on a half hour right now as it is. So that said, you are going to be the one doing half the games for me in this league. So is there anything that you want to mention, discuss, talk about, put out there so put the guys on alert with it so they know what's going on, or do you think we pretty much covered it all?
I think we pretty much covered everything, really. I mean, there isn't a whole lot that I really have to say. I'm just ready to get this whole thing started.
Yeah.
But I will, well, if anything, I will give out a warning of this. And it's something like this. Don't be too surprised if there ends up becoming a moment where either me or Doug, like one of us will have to, know, let's say like take time off or something like that. Like if something happens, like say, oh crap, like we have to go do this, we have to go do that. I mean, like don't be surprised if any of that happens, because both of us we are expecting it to happen. So I don't expect this whole season to go as smooth, just like it did the first season. It didn't go as smooth. There was always some things coming up. So I'm expecting the same thing this season. And really, me and Doug, we can't stress this enough. If anyone that wants to help us out, you know where to find us. I mean, like we're right here on Slack. You can DM us. Let us know that you're willing to help us out. Let us know that you got Xbox. Let us know you got a let us know you got APA 2K8. Do anything you can possible to try and help us out. That's all I'm pretty much saying here. Because it would do us a world of it would give us a live breathing room if we could get a third streamer, at the very least a third streamer. We're not asking for no more, no less. Just one more guy.
Yeah. So long story short, if you have the capability to record a game and upload it or stream a game live, let us know. That's it. It takes pressure off my shoulders, takes pressure off Chris's shoulders, and it gives us the capability of making sure we have a fallback person if and when push comes to shove.
Pretty much.
What the hell? And I apologize for yawning. I've just been mad tired the last few weeks. It's ridiculous.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's not much else for me to say.
Pretty much. Okay, just got a confirmation on the coach through the editor. That's good. Now I can update that one. Well, that's one more done. Yeah. So I was going through all the editor stuff today when I was talking to you, making sure I had everybody's leadership bonus, had everybody's coach's name, stadium name, all that good stuff. So I think I'm missing the leadership on one team, and then I'm done. And I know somebody's gonna be like, "Wow, there was a deadline for that." Pretty much. So yeah, that's what's gonna suck.
So yep, I'm pretty much done here. I'm gonna get off.
So no, I do
So
have. Okay, the one team I thought I didn't have it for, I do have it for sure. That's good. Yeah, I'm going to defer to the chat room and see if anybody had anything to ask. If not, yeah, we can wrap this one up already.
Yep.
I'll post about this stuff in the chat room. We'll Slack here in a few minutes. For those who didn't catch the podcast, about the new schedule, if you will. And then owners, message me. And when you message me, I'll make sure I send you the roster file for the conference so you have it. And I'll put that out there. So maybe that's how you'll get the roster file. You actually take the time to listen to this podcast, know that you're supposed to get it, and then message me for it. 64. All right, cool. I think the Atlantic roster file, I'm looking at it now, I think it's 100% ready to go. Awesome. I'm going to open up the Pacific file and see how that one's looking. Make sure, because like I said, I've been getting some updates today by a bunch of players, owners, finalizing the final details, and I think I finally just finished it. Which now it would just be plugging in playbooks, but I want to give everybody the opportunity to make sure stuff's right. And what's nice though is I can start plugging in playbooks and adjust some of this stuff anyway. So that's what's good. Yeah, man, I think we're good.
All right, sweet.
I think every team is now finally set. Yeah, it's looking that way. This is good. This is good. I got two more teams to look at. And I can only go as fast as the editor goes to confirm. So, yeah. I don't know why the editor moving slow on me. I'm just still sitting here waiting for this team to load. Now it's moving. Yeah, all right, cool. I got leadership information on all 16 teams. I believe I have the coach information now on all 16 teams, as well as stadiums, which was the minor details I needed to dot I's and cross T's, if you will. So that's all done. Now it's just going to be a matter of sending out the playbook or the file, getting guys to check it and make sure they send me any minor changes they need. And I still need to take the damn file and put it in, make sure there's no elephant faces or anything like that myself. So anybody, when you put it in, if you see any error, any mistake, anything, please message me privately about it so I don't lose it. Because if you put it on a channel somewhere, I'm going to probably miss it and lose it. So send me a private message and say, hey, this is wrong or that's messed up, and then I'll fix it. And I don't see any questions out of the chat room. So, yeah, if you ain't got any any comments for it to finish this up, then I'm gonna wrap this one up and just give a quick repeat of the situation. This way you can take off.
I don't got no. I really don't have much enough to say.
All right. Well, I'll let you take off, and I'm just gonna repeat the particulars for those who maybe have just came in the room late or what have you, and I'll let them know. So I appreciate you getting up on here with me.
Yep, no problem. Until then, I will catch you guys later.
All right, man. Thanks, Chris. All right. Just a quick repeat for everybody who didn't catch it right away or missed it or what have you. Roster files are going to be sent out today into tomorrow. Message me saying you want the file. If you don't want the file, I won't send it to you. So message me telling me you want the damn file so I can get it to you. That being said, take the week to find any errors or mistakes that you may see within your team. I'll get anything edited you want to get edited. I know some owners sent me some player name changes they wanted to make, what have you. I know I missed a couple. So that being said, if I miss something you want me to get changed, make sure you message me about it in private so I don't lose it. Now, the schedule, because of Thanksgiving being Thursday, Chris and I realized trying to do the season now with the preseason was crazy. That it should have been thought about, and that was on me. It should have been thought about it sooner. So I'm going to take the rest of the week into the 25th, which is Saturday, to plug in playbooks. The 26th will start preseason. That doesn't mean a game will be that day. That means any changes that you as owners need has to be done before the 25th. Has to be done before the 25th so the preseason can start Saturday. So, or Sunday the 26th, rather. So from the 26th to December the 2nd will be the preseason week, pushing the regulars week back to the 8th and the 9th. Playbook changes for the regular season will be due December the 5th, and you can only make 15 changes that particular week. So whatever playbook you submitted can make 15 adjustments on the 5th for week 1, which will start the 8th and the 9th. Everything goes according to plan. There will be 2 Atlantic Division games on the 8th, 2 Pacific games on the 8th, and then as well as the 9th, 2 and 2. And then every Tuesday, playbooks will be due. And then, like I said, week 1 will be the 8th and the 9th. Week 2 will be the 15th and 16th. Week 3 will be the 22nd and 23rd. Week 4 will be January 5th and 6th because we will take off the 29th and the 30th. So when you submit your playbook on the 19th of December, you ain't got to worry about submitting a playbook again until January the 2nd. So you get all Christmas week and you get to enjoy your New Year's, and then we'll jump right back into things. So it'll be that simple. So I've just gotten my first request for the roster file, just like that. You gotta love it. So I'm gonna send that team the roster file since they just messaged me for it. And I gotta make sure I send them the proper one as well before I go click on the wrong team or the wrong conference because you don't really need the other one. Okay, remember these will be obviously playbook lists. All right, that's been sent. Awesome. Let me double check the chat one final time. Yeah, not much going on in the chat. So if anybody has any questions, thoughts, whatever, message me on Slack. If you have my number, you can call me. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I'm gonna try to do a podcast. I got to get together with Ed because him and I have discussed doing a podcast where we're gonna make our predictions. Since we have this week to make some finalizations, I'm hoping to do it Monday. But I have to see what his schedule looks like, my schedule looks like, because I know my kids are home from school until Tuesday, and I know they might be too loud and stuff in the background. I know he might have the same problems, so we might have to push it till Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But I want to do a prediction show ASAP next week, and that'll be us putting out our predictions. Who's going to win each division? Who might be the players of the year? Who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? Who's going to the Victory Bowl too? The whole 9 yards. So the Victory Bowl this year will be in Arizona, which will be in Tombstone. For those of you not in the know, the Arizona Outlaws represent the city of Tombstone, Arizona. That's why they're the Outlaws, just in case. Minor detail. I don't know if anybody ever knew that, but I figured I'd throw that out there. All right, we've gotten my first request for the Atlantic Division, our conference. Now I just got the first request for the Pacific Conference. So again, when you guys get this file and you upload it, check it. Make sure you see no problems, no errors, no mistakes, no this, no that. Because that's that I can't stress enough. Because I'm only human, and I might mess something up here, may mess something up there. You know, just quick fix. And there we go. Okay. Apologize again for typing, but I'm trying to appease to my owners, if you will, and get them what they need. All right, so I want to thank again Chris for showing up. Everybody was here in the chat. Appreciate you showing up, putting in your time. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up and look for me and Ed's prediction special to take place. It could be sooner than later. I don't know. Like I said, it's all depending on our schedule. It could even be this week yet. I don't know. So that being said, I'll catch y'all's asses down the road. And this was another episode of Inside the IFL. Later.